fine, you stick to it. If it doesn't favor you, you drop it. So you're always faced with that struggle of, oh, let me just try it, let me just. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Hi, hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me. My name is Ijoma, a Nigerian YouTuber based in the beautiful city of Zurich, Switzerland. And I welcome you all to my channel. My returning subscribers, I really thank you so much for always stopping by to watch my videos. I really do appreciate all that you've been doing for me, all that you're doing for me, and all that you will do for me. And if you're new here, I really welcome you to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for clicking in, and please don't make it your last by hitting on the red subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you can always get notified each time I upload a new video. Yeah, and today I will be doing a video. I will be highlighting my struggles as a black immigrant living in Zurich, Switzerland. As an immigrant, as a black woman, as a mom, I'll be highlighting all the struggles that I have been facing since I moved here or living here in Zurich. The first one, although I understand that everybody have their own struggles, even those you think have it all, they still have their struggles. I mean, we all face struggles on a daily basis. Some subtle, some very big struggles, some have a major one, some don't even have a solution to their problems or their struggles. And while I also understand that living here without living outside my family, living here alone, just my nuclear family, without my extended family living close by, is also a struggle. I know it affects everybody, wherever you find yourself, whether you're in the States, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Africa, in Ghana, anywhere at all. If you don't have your relatives close by, you always have a struggle. So, but that is not what I'm doing today. Today, I will be just highlighting the peculiar struggles of an immigrant in Zurich, Switzerland, or in Switzerland as a whole. And the first one will be language. Language is a very big struggle for anybody living in Zurich or anybody living in Switzerland. If you're from a non-native speaking country and you move to Zurich, it will always be a struggle. And I understand that the degree of struggle about this language always vary. Like, my own struggle might not be the same with someone from Eastern Europe or someone from Portugal or someone from Spain and other European countries. Why those, and it also affects your level of competence or your professional level. Like, those from Eastern Europe might not really find it as a struggle. The non-professional workers might not really find it as a struggle, owing to the fact that their people have long been here. There are many Eastern Europeans here. There are many countries that are owned by Eastern Europeans here. So most of these people or these companies employ people from their place, thereby making it less stressful for them to go through the rigorous process of learning the language, and equally the struggle for language reduces. So they are only faced with the struggle of communicating with the Swiss people or the native speakers. But when they go to work, they communicate with their counterparts from the same area where they come from. So it is not always a struggle. But for the professional workers, it is always a struggle. I was opportune to be in German course or in German language course with a lady from Poland. In Poland, she is a pharmacist. She studied pharmacy in the university. She was working as a pharmacist in Poland, but then coming to Switzerland, she couldn't speak English, she couldn't speak German, and she still wants to make a living for herself. She found herself working in a place where vegetables are being produced. Does it sound ridiculous? Well, it may sound ridiculous. Even our teacher in class then asked her, what were you doing? What was your occupation in Poland? She said that she's a pharmacist. And then the teacher asked her, then since you moved there, what have you been doing? She said she was working in a salad producing company where she cuts the vegetables used in making salad. And the teacher was like, oh, Shade, wie schlecht is that? Is that? That means too bad. How bad is that? So you can imagine. So we all face struggles. Okay, yes, just yesterday I met a lady as well. She has lived in Switzerland for 17 years. She speaks really good German, but then she wants to work in a caring home for the old. She speaks really good German. She has attended German courses. So she went for the interview, she passed the interview, but then the language was a barrier. They asked her, what is your level of, what level have you been to? What is your level of studying German course? She said she has done the B aspect of the German course, B2. Then they said, okay, we know you've studied German, you've learned the German course up to this level, but then where is the certificate? So she couldn't provide it. And as a result of that, she had to go back, like we went for German courses yesterday, so she came back to learn her German course so that she'll be able to write this exam. There are many exam body that take care of these examinations. The very common one is the one they call TELC, that is TELC, I don't know the full meaning. So she came back she's now going to German courses so that she will be able to write this exam for her to go further in her career pursuit. My second struggle as someone, okay, so as I was saying before, like for someone from Eastern European who is not a professional worker, it might not really be a struggle for her, but someone like me who doesn't have Abraham Nana, like I don't have anybody from Nigeria that owns a company who can employ me, so you know my own level of struggle is always high, it won't be higher. So the second struggle I have as a black person living in Switzerland is the school system. I come from a place where children go to school in the morning and they stay there till afternoon. School dismisses around 1, 2, and 3 as the case. Okay, some nursery schools dismiss at 12, primary school at 1 o'clock, and secondary school at 2 o'clock. So this is most state schools, but private schools usually stay longer. And those that usually dismiss at 1 o'clock, they come back home to stay at home. They don't come back home to eat lunch and go back to school. Or if they are to stay in schools longer than this particular time, the usual time they're supposed to, they usually have their lunch in school. But in Switzerland, the children go to school in the morning, like my son starts school at 8:10 in the morning. And he dismisses at 11:50, comes back home to have his lunch, and then he'll have to go back for the second time back to school. For me, it's always a struggle for me. Like sometimes, you know, you have to do everything helter-skelter. Even for him as well, it's a struggle. Sometimes he comes back home and I tell him, oh, get ready, you're going back to school. He'll ask me, oh mom, why do I have to go back to school? I was already in school in the morning. Even me, I also have that stress of when I have 2 different appointments with a difference of 2 hours between the both. If I should finish it one, I hardly come back home, because if I come back home, it will be stressful for me to dress up and go out again, especially during the winter season. But so as a result of that, I have to hang out somewhere and wait for the time to reach so that I can go for my second appointment. So you can imagine, if you face that struggle as an adult, you can imagine how stressful it is for the children as well. So that is my number 2 struggle in Switzerland. The third struggle I face in Switzerland should be shopping. Like, there are very good shopping outlets here in Switzerland, but I mean when you shop online, like there is an online shop, a website where I can get second-hand clothes. Like if I am buying to be shipped to Switzerland, it will have to go through different stages. Like the seller will have to send it to the governing body of this website for them to control it, to authenticate it, and then certify that it is as this seller described it. Or if it isn't as the seller described, they will have to send it back to the person. But then if it is as she described it, then he or she described it, they will send it to me. And this usually costs almost the same amount of price that you pay when you buy directly from the seller. So like if I should buy a cloth worth of, let me say, 20 Swiss francs, then the shipping will cost around 7 francs 55, and the authentication fee is always between 5 francs and 6 francs depending on the value of the particular product you're buying. Then they will have to send it import duties and tax. Sometimes it costs up to 10 francs, sometimes it costs more than that, so you can calculate. If I should buy a cloth I bought a cloth for 10 francs, we can say francs is usually higher than dollars, but at least it's just a little difference between the two. So we can say I bought this clothes for $10. I know I'm using dollars because it is well known all over the world. Like people can easily easily change it to their own currency. When I used to talk about Swiss francs, people don't really know the worth of the money. So let me say I bought something for $10, then shipping fee, it goes to these people. The shipping fee costs $7.55. That is how much, $17.55. Then they will take $6 again to authenticate it. That is how much. I bought this clothes for $20, and the shipping fee costs 7 francs, and the authentication fee costs 5 francs or 6 francs, as the case may be. Let's say 6. So we calculate 7 plus 6 is already 13, and then the import duty is maybe around 10 francs. So how much does it cost on the whole? 13 plus 10 is 23. So you can imagine me paying even higher than the actual amount I bought the item. So it is always a struggle that I face. But then if I should ship it to Germany or if they're shipping to Germany or Italy or any other place, it goes just from the buyer, from the seller straight to the buyer. And on that note, you just pay only the worth of the money for that particular item you bought and the shipping fee, which is way more lesser than the process it would have gone through, which is way more lesser than what you would have paid if you're shipping straight to Switzerland. And also, if I buy items from other online shops, like from the UK, I have a friend, she bought some things from the UK, and then they sent her import duty of 50 Swiss francs. She has to pay. After paying for the shipping, she still paid the extra 50 import duties. So you can imagine, sometimes it is a struggle for you to buy from online shops that are outside of Switzerland, because when you calculate the import duty that you're supposed to pay, sometimes you'll be like, you know what, let it go, you just forget it. So it is a struggle for me. Another struggle that I face as someone living in Switzerland is like, there are limited fashion brands. I didn't say there are no fashion brands, there are limited fashion brands. Like, as far as I know, Switzerland doesn't have much indigenous fashion companies that are of high street end, that are high street fashion, not the high end, but the high street like Zara and Mango. There are some fashion brands that are Swiss owned, but they don't really meet, sometimes they don't meet to your test as someone, or sometimes they don't meet to my test. But like, you can't compare it to the UK, where they have many indigenous fashion brands that when you go to this one, you don't see what you like. When you go this one, the possibility of you seeing something you like is there. And sometimes when you equally go to the high-end brands and you see something, then you go to the lower-end brands, the possibility of you seeing a dupe of this product from the high-end brand is there. But here in Switzerland, it is not so much, it is limited. And when you resort to online shops going to buy from other countries, the import duty might discourage you from doing that, so you're just stuck at a place. Another struggle I face is struggle with makeup. First of all, Switzerland, I think, from my own knowledge, Switzerland is still evolving in makeup. So they are not so much into makeup like other countries of the world, at least to the best of my knowledge. Okay, for example, Sephora was just here, like, I think Sephora came here around late 2016 / early 2017, before they didn't have Sephora. So like, sometimes I want to buy, like, if you're in the UK, makeup is always evolving. Almost every year a new makeup brand is born, but it is not the same here in Switzerland. Even, okay, sometimes if I want to get my foundation shades, I have to go for most times when you go to the high-end brands, you always find your foundation shade. But sometimes when you go to the lower end brand, depending on the place you go to, you don't get to see it. Sometimes, okay, like, so for example, I live around the outskirts of Zurich. That is the main city of the state of Zurich. I live in the outskirts. Sometimes I can't just go to the supermarket near me to get my foundation shade. It doesn't function that way. Even I can't go to my neighborhood, except like there are some big shopping malls in my neighborhood here. Unless if I go there, I can still get my foundation shade, except I am going for the high-end brand like MAC, Bobbi Brown, NARS, and the others. Like, for the lower-end brands, sometimes you don't get to. I remember sometime I wanted to buy my foundation, not my foundation, my powder. My powder. I went to the shopping mall close to me. I asked for my shade in this particular powder, in the compact powder that is in NYX Cosmetics, NYX. So I asked for my shades. She told me, the lady at the counter told me that, oh, I have to go to Zurich, that is Zurich main city, for me to get my foundation shade. That here they don't have much shade for darker skin tones. So I had to wait until I went to Zurich. That was where I was able to get my foundation. The same thing likewise in the US. Almost every day makeup brands are born, and here is not the same. Here sometimes there was a time I wanted to shop something from P. Louise. My card was declined. As a result, I couldn't buy it. Then the last time I wanted to purchase an eyeshadow from a new brand, from a makeup artist, my card was also declined. I couldn't get it. And here, because you're limited, sometimes yes, I have my eyeshadow, but sometimes you want to try new things. Sometimes you want to try something new, something different, something from another person, and then the struggle is you, because here they don't have much makeup brands. They have their indigenous makeup brands, but then to an extent they don't really cater for deeper or darker skin tones, to the best of my knowledge. I am saying to the best of my knowledge, not to another person's knowledge. So it is always a struggle for me. Okay, like my eye pencil, my brow pencil, if I want to get it, I have to go to Zurich, unless like here where I stay, there are limited fashion brands that cater to the people with darker skin tones. Of course, you can't always blend them because population matters. If you're into buying and selling, or you're a marketer, you always buy something that people will demand, so you don't really blame them. So sometimes it is a struggle for me to get my makeup, except I go to Zurich sometimes, and I'm not always, it's not far, but then I don't go there every time. Time is limited. I don't go there every time. So sometimes, most times, if I want to buy something, I will wait until when I'm going there. So maybe I needed a brow pencil today. I will just have to wait and be managing the other ones that I can lay my hands on until I go to Zurich. Then I'll be able to purchase what I want to purchase. Another struggle that I face as a black person living in Switzerland is their lack of black beauty influencers. Not that there are no influencers, but there are black beauty influencers. Like, you know, sometimes when you want to buy a product, you want to hear from someone else who has used that product, who has reviewed it, like before you go for it. Sometimes you want to know like what to expect. Of course, they will always have the description in a leaflet inside this product, but sometimes what they describe in the leaflet can cater to a particular group of people, and it wouldn't cater to your own particular needs. Like, I remember there is this particular serum that I bought one time. So they were hyping it in the leaflet. It said it brightens your skin within 4 days, it clears dark spots, blah blah blah. I tried it didn't work for me. So had it been that I knew of a black influencer who had used this product before, it would be definitely easier for me to buy it. At least I know what to expect. So okay, like I want to get a face steamer from a particular brand, but because I don't know anybody that has used it, my friend got it. So I'm still waiting for her to give me the review on that particular product before I go to buy it, because you don't want to make a mistake whereby you buy a product and then it doesn't perform, or it doesn't really function as you want it to, or it doesn't cater to the particular need why you got it. So I have to wait until she gives me her review. Like, I know there are influencers, of course you don't really, it's not, by the way, this video doesn't really point to racism or anything. It's just my struggles as someone living in Switzerland, as a black person, some of the struggles I face. So I'm not blaming anybody if they don't cater to my need, because demand matters when you're into buying and selling. So like, due to the lack of black influencers, is always a struggle. Like, you know, okay, let me say there are some products that are indigenous to Switzerland, and you want to get this product. You are just thinking, oh, will it be good, will it not be good? You don't really know what to expect. So sometimes you keep on doing trial and trial. If it favors you, fine, you stick to it. If it doesn't favor you, you drop it. So you're always faced with that struggle of, oh, let me just try it. Of course, they always give tester, but sometimes the tester finishes within a week and you can't just testify to it. Like, sometimes it doesn't last up to 7 days. So you can't really testify to it being exactly what you need or what you don't need. So these are some of the struggles that I face as someone living in Switzerland, as a black person in Switzerland. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like this video. Are you living in a place where your skin tone or your skin color is in the minority lead? Do you have some struggles? I would like to read your thoughts. I would like to read your comments. Tell me the struggle you also face in the area or in the place where you find yourself, and we'll draw the curtain here. I hope you like this video. If you do, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, you're free to go through my channel. I have lots and lots of videos there, very entertaining videos, informative videos, educative videos, videos that will stand, or videos that will always stand the test of time. And I'll definitely see you in my next video as always. Until then, bye bye, have a great time. Mwah.